Richard the Lionheart wasn't your average medieval king. Forget the crown and throne. This guy basically lived in a suit of armor. Out of his 10-year reign as King of England, he spent only about 6 months actually in England. Why? Because he was too busy leading crusades, swinging swords, and picking fights with everyone from Saladin to his own vassals. Imagine being king and saying, "Yeah, ruling sounds boring. I'd rather be on an endless road trip with swords." By the way, hit subscribe before Richard charges at you with a battle cry. It's way safer than joining him on a crusade. Richard earned his nickname not because of his political skills, but because he was an absolute unit on the battlefield. Chroniclers said he could swing a sword so hard he cut a knight completely in half. Whether that's medieval exaggeration or not, the fact remains. People feared him. His enemies saw him as a lion. His allies sometimes thought he was more like a reckless gamer who goes full YOLO mode. During the Third Crusade, Richard faced off against Saladin, the legendary Muslim leader. Picture it. 2 titans of history, both chivalrous, both brilliant. Almost like Batman versus Superman, but with chainmail and camels. The battles were so intense that even Saladin, his rival, sent Richard gifts when he fell sick. That's like your sworn enemy sending you chicken soup. Peak medieval bromance. But Richard wasn't just brave. He was also dangerously impulsive. He once charged into battle wearing nothing but a tunic because he forgot his chainmail. Classic gamer move, rushing in without armor. Still, he survived, because Lionheart apparently came with maxed out plot armor. Ironically, despite being King of England, he barely spoke English. He spoke French, because back then the English crown was basically French DLC. He drained England's treasury to fund his wars, so much that people joked the kingdom was run by his mum, Eleanor of Aquitaine, while Richard played Call of Crusades overseas. His end wasn't very lion-like. He got hit by a crossbow bolt while besieging some tiny castle in France. Not a glorious battlefield, not a legendary duel, just some random kid with a crossbow. Even worse, Richard supposedly forgave his killer before dying. Epic move, but also kind of anticlimactic for a man called Lionheart. Richard the Lionheart remains one of history's most cinematic kings, a warrior who cared more about honor, combat, and glory than taxes or ruling. He might not have been a great king, but he was an epic warrior. And hey, that's why we're still talking about him centuries later. So hit subscribe now, because unlike Richard, we actually stick around to bring you more epic warriors and battles. Don't make us send a medieval tax collector after you.